Okay, it's your time.
Welcome to Ancient Wisdom of the Feminine Radio Talk. I'm Shrishti Yadav, and I'm going to be as you all know, I'm from India. We've been doing this show for 7 years, and I'm so happy that I have Magdala Ramirez here with me. She's a Maya-Mexika medicine woman, a spiritual leader, my spiritual mother, and my life has been transformed because of her teachings. And I can say that for myself and so many other people I know. You know her through the Golden Era series and the Golden Era teachings that we receive every week. And I'm so happy to have her here. Welcome, Ma.
Hola, mijita. I am so happy that you are able to do all this magic and technology. I just love you so, so much. And it has been amazing. All this preparation before this moment. Does the light is right? Does this is good? Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So it is very cool to make something different. And today I really want to talk to you about the new era, this new understanding of what is going on for the ancestors and what it is, all these prophecies everywhere in the world. It is the time. It is the time for you to remember who you are. It is the time of the realization of the self. It is the time of a new understanding of who you are and how to relate. Everything, it is changing, as you can see. The way that you relate with each other, the way that you relate with the environment, and the most important, the way that you relate with yourself. That place within you, that it is changing and moving in these very, very intense times. One of the things that I want to tell you is that this new world is not patriarchal, it's not matriarchal. It is a balanced world. And through that balance, that's how you encounter this peace within your own self. Understanding how does this work and what is happening, it is imperative at this time. You have the key to go into multi-dimensions. Human being is a multi-dimensional being by nature. And as such, understanding how to move that consciousness within yourself, it is very, very important. Nobody can make the work for you. It is your unique journey. For the reality that you're perceiving, it is only you, the one that it is perceiving. So what is happening within that human being? What it is that key. Well, that key is using your male side and your feminine side. And understanding what is feminine and what is masculine is very, very important, so you can actually understand what is that union of polarities, that world beyond of that duality. Everyone needs to be making their work, men and women. And doesn't matter your sexual preferences, still the work needs to be done, because this is how in this planet it is encoded. These teachings, it was hidden in your DNA long, long, long time ago. It was the one that created you, the one who hid that knowledge in your DNA. And it was designed that in this time and space, you will be able to tap into that DNA and be able to remember who you are. It was the feminine side, the one who hid it. Means that in your feminine side or your brain is where all this resides. That is why it has been spoken for a long time that it is the feminine, the ones that leads the way. What it is and how do this work? Well, I want to put it in these 4 ways for the people to really comprehend how it works. You have the Great Mother, or the one that you call her the Great Mother. She is the eternal feminine. She's all the aspects. Yet when I tell you about the eternal feminine, it's hard for the people to relate because these teachings has been hidden for such a long, long time. So the Great Mother has her own power and her own understanding. The Great Mother is the essence of all the life forms. She is inside of the tree as it is inside of you. Is that life force that has always been. She contains all the vibrations at the same time. The whole creation, it is inside of her as she is inside of all the creation. Inside of you is where the one resides. Through that alignment, you are able to connect as a cosmic being, and you have access to the library of the multiverse. All this knowledge for you to remember. You have at the same time the Great Father. The Great Father is about that divine order. Everything in the universe have a cycle. In every cycle, it is making this dance with all the cycles, all in perfect divine order. He is about laws. But the laws, it is not to enslave the people, but to liberate you. That liberation comes into being when you understand that in every world it has a different laws to comprehend, means different ways of consciousness, and in to understand those consciousness. You have the daughter, or what you call the daughter of the Great Mother. This is the woman aspect. The woman aspect is very, very powerful when she holds hands with the mother, for she holds the key of enlightenment. She is very powerful and very, very beautiful. So is the mother, so is the daughter. She is the one that holds all these ancient teachings of enlightenment. She is here to enlighten. She has the power of being very, very psychic. She has the power of sexuality and the knowledge of sexuality. She has the power of understanding your own ways as the feminine too, your moon time, the way that you relate with other women, the sisterhood and how important it is, that sisterhood. Then you have the masculine, the Son of God. That divine masculine is very, very important to comprehend too. He is the one that it is able to hold on into his truth. It is able to bring that manifestation of who you are and make the realization of the self. Means put it on what you know. Put it on what you understand about yourself. And if you see all these 4 aspects, all are inside of you. Everything, it is happening inside of you. You as divine feminine, you are holding hands with that divine masculine too. And vice versa, because there is no such a thing of disconnection. Yes, it is true that for a long time, the healings of the, the teachings of the feminine has been in the hidden for a long time. And we do need to bring back all those ancient teachings to people to remember who you are, to remember what are you doing in here. And through those teachings, you are also bringing your first enlightenment to your own mind and being able to comprehend how to reroute your mind in a very different story. Not just the story that the patriarchal system install on you and you keep on perpetuating the same story. One of the biggest teachings to comprehend this is, yes, you are love. And as love that you are, everything changes. Because for a long time, in that patriarchal system, they told you that you need to be in life looking for love. And that if you don't follow the rules that they install, you're not going to be loved. There was all these fears and all this understanding of yourself, not as a divine being. You lost that place within yourself, which now you are encountering and telling you a very, very different story. So for the masculine, they need to see something in the outside to click in the inside. All these teachings in the system has been designed about the masculine. You have deduction mind constantly in the schools, in religions, in every single possible way, techniques, the most important thing, even meditation. You go deep, you silence your mind to be able to tap into your heart. And it has been good, that meditation. But what it was missing, it is the other side of it. From that inside to the outside, how do you gonna bring all these sensations and all this understanding, this very abstract world that everyone has it, that nobody shares. It is so unique, that world inside of you. And in that world, finding a way of an organized way to be able to bring it into the outside. A teaching that it has been being downloaded everywhere in the world for many people. A vibration that it comes into being, that you are the one who's translated into a language. Every single part of it, of yourself, that it is coming from that inside, this is the time that you're bringing it into the outside. For the feminine, it has been very hard. There was a lot of transmutation that they needed to do for many, many generations. Pain can be inherited from so many generations too. And it gets all these understandings too of pain and suffering that it has been inflicted about the feminine in order to continue the patriarchal system. Yet, so its light, it is also inherent. So is that divinity within yourself that you are tapping right now and remembering. In this time and space is very, very worse in what is happening with all human beings. You are awakening all these powers. And it is very beautiful to see as you bring the presence of your own presence, you are opening all your senses at the same time. And through those senses, you are perceiving a very different story, hearing, seeing, a very different story that you have no idea before. Your senses, as it breaks the limitations that it was imposed on you, you are encountering a very different experiences. Those experiences are very unique and original stories. Your emotional body is very, very powerful. For every decision that you make is emotional. And for such a long time, it was a no-no. You cannot talk about emotions. And it was so prohibited for the human being. Yet it has always been the emotions, the one that is making the choices. When you understand your emotions and transmute, of course, emotions that it needs to be transmuted at the same time that you're encountering different emotions that it has no name. And it is happening because of that understanding that it is changing in such a big, big manner inside of you. Everything, it is moving in such a powerful manner that when you are able to realize it, you're very much understanding how you have always been so free that you're not bounded by time. When you think about your lifetime and they told you to see it as linear time, and you can think about what happened when you were a child, you have emotional landmarks, isn't it? And those emotional landmarks that you can relate with that time because of that emotion. You can also understand that even if you think about the future, you're seeing it in the same way as emotional. It's a memory. Yes, you do have all these possibilities, yet all those possibilities that they are on the table for you is because you already live it in one way or the other. When you are able to comprehend how it is that abstract world coming back into the feminine, how it is that abstract world where memories doesn't imply past or future or even a perception or reality of this now or what you call now, is can be very abstract realm that it is very familiar to you because you live in that place all the time. And when you bring it into that masculine way, your way of living, your understanding of who you are, and being able to comprehend that place and become that divine masculine too, in union with that feminine. The divine masculine, it needs to have the power of the feminine. That power that you have, it is very beautiful. And that is what it is giving birth to a very different story, a different way of living, a different understanding of who you are. For such a long time, women felt that they didn't have any power, that they didn't have any way of any kind to understand themselves as divine. Well, I'm telling you, the divine feminine has not come in here to destroy any religion or tradition, but to consummate them. Means to remember how it is in the very, very beginning. of all traditions and religions. There is only one knowledge, that it has been in everywhere in the world. Some traditions, they hold it more longer than the other ones. But in one way or the other, when you observe those teachings closely, you can find it everywhere in the world. Well, I must add at this time, it is not only in this world. It is beyond this world too. For the cosmic being that you are and that you have always been, it is in perfect relationship with the star beings that it is your ancestors too. The new understanding of the new world, it is imperative at this time. Once you begin to comprehend that place within you, the places that it needs some healing, immediately you are bringing a new way of living. And it is about women to be able to hold on into your own power. And it is about the men to be able to reconnect with the heart. For the patriarchal system has been hurting so much women. It was that authentic human being, the one that it has been hurt for a long time. Yet today, it's about your own liberation and understanding where is that work, where is that place that you are remembering. So when we talk about teachings, it's very relative because they are teachings, or I'm very much just reminding you who you are and where are this amazing power that you have within yourself to be able to understand this new world and what it is happening. We are in this time in our calendario Azteca in the wave of Zictecli. And this is a very important way because it is a new beginning. And it is very beautiful that we're making this new way of bringing the radio and in this time of the new beginning. But many of this wave, it has to do about bringing order out of chaos. And when you are able to understand and embrace peace within yourself, you literally are aligning with this very beautiful world. Yes, it is so much commotion and so much going on, and we're not denying any of this. So much racism, so much sickness in the people, so much fear. Yet, I'm telling you, it's all gonna be okay if we are able to comprehend who we are. I think this time of being in isolation, the message has been for you to ask yourself, where are you? What you have been doing? What do you really want? Where are you going? Where is your love that you have always been? The people that you love so much. The way that you love to yourself. Everything has been changing, a deep change in the human being, in this time and space, and it needed to happen in this way in order to the human being being able to go deep within themselves. And stay home means being present of your own present and tap into this knowledge, the knowledge of that union of polarities, of how do we understand ourselves as male and women and female, as men and women too in these relationships, because it is not bounded by time and it is not bounded anymore by all those rules and regulations, but it is the way that you relate within your own self. Yes, the divine masculine, it is very much understanding that protection within. And I'm talking about the true protection, not about the control, not about all those situations that it has been enslaving the people. You can see it within your own self, how that divine masculine, it is protecting you at the same time that you are bringing these teachings in one way into another in your own mind and rerouting your brain to readjust of a world of peace that it is within you. Those places within you, how do we find a very different world now? How do we relate? Everything is going to change. Education, art, a way of building, of course, energy. Oh my gosh, everything. Because human being, it is adapting into the new world. How do we relate with environment, with you as nature, and understand what is that nature within you? The call is being done. People are listening everywhere in the world. That listen because you can hear this voice within your own self. That voice that it is guiding you. That voice that it is reminding you who you are. One of the things that I want to add in this conversation is the story and the knowledge of the two hearts. For ancestors, our ancestors, they always talk about the two hearts. One heart that contains all these situations in your life. In some of them is so much pain and suffering, but also the good memories too in one way or the other. Everything that it is related into this time and space in your life. But behind that heart, there is the other heart. The heart that it is able to understand your alignment and the new possibilities that it creates when that alignment it is taking place. Okay, so how we are doing, mijita? Do we have any questions?
We do. Thank you for that.
Okay,
Mom.
tell me.
We have one question from Christine, and for all the people listening right now, please feel free to put your questions in the live chat. So, Christine wants to know, would you say that to experience entrega is to be in perfect balance between divine masculine and divine feminine?
I think that is a very beautiful question, the entrega. I love that word. You know, you don't have it too much in English because when I translate it in English, it doesn't really make sense. Entrega is really like the last push when you're having a baby. So if you're listening, you're a mother, you understand me exactly what I mean. It is a moment that you understand what it is the most important and doesn't matter, nothing more. Living in that entrega, it's very, very powerful because the mind wants to be in control about something. You know, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of things that you feel like you need to be in control of something. The entrega is the understanding that when you align with the one that created you, your choices, you identifying the sacred moment that you choose, it is always for the highest good of everyone, because that is the ways of the mother. Living in that entrega is understanding that there is that amazing, powerful, divine order that it is taking place right there. It is that perfect harmony within yourself that we call that the Great Mother. Holding hands with that divine order that we call the Great Father, all happening within your own self. So when you're making that entrega and understanding that entrega, immediately comes peace into being. It comes peace within yourself, a knowingness that everything is going to be okay, a knowingness that you are able to realize truly who you are and being able to align with the whole creation. Because whatever, as we said, whatever is happening with that beautiful flower, it is also happening to you. Whatever it is happening to your sister is also happening to you. It is all this completely interrelation that it is happening everywhere in the universe. And that entrega, it is showing you those ways. Instead of constantly needs to be in that control or in relationship with past experiences or in maybe your parents or your culture. What about if you are choosing right now what it is important for you through that entrega and understanding how is that incredible magic taking place right there? How it is so important to even comprehend how it works. Living in that entrega in this time and space, it is so completely liberating because it is the absence of fear, because it is the absence of all these things that it has been enslaving you for a long time. It is that moment of that entrega when you have that original experience in life. Am I making any sense? Do we have more questions? Maybe?
We do have one more from Brittany. She's asking, do you think some people are experiencing spiritual warfare during this time? And is there such a thing as spiritual warfare?
Well, yes, I can say it in that way. That's the bottom line. Yet, here is the reason why. As you begin to see yourself in a different way, as I was telling you about your own liberation, and you still see the patriarchal system kicking at all times. You know, the patriarchal system, it is falling apart. Let it fall. But as it falls down, it is also attacking. It is also trying to bring everybody into that. You know, we talk for a moment too, and you can find it in the archives in a big manner too. These situations about the emotional body. A lot of these things about the emotional body, they put that on you. So they know which there for you to slow down, for you to feel that you are under attack in big deal. Yes, the divine feminine has been under attack for a very, very long time. Yet, this is what I recommend to you, my sister. We need to keep moving forward. And we need to understand that you're not alone. That's where the sisterhood comes into being. You know, the divine feminine is everywhere in the world. And that it is a grid, that it is imperfect, lighted up right now. And it is helping you. And it is helping me. And when we are able to drop that part of the emotional body, then they won't find a way of how to get into you. Yet, yes, people is being under attack, is being targeted at all times. At the moment that you present your truth, you're a target because people have not been under that. People don't not understand how to think and how to stand up in your own power and say it. This is wrong. It needs to be changed. This it needs to be moved. This is not right. You recognize what it is right within yourself. And you have been through a lot. We all have been. Yet when we move forward, it is moving in that vertical way. No one has power over you. No one has power over anything. On the contrary, what you're doing is that tree of life that before it was only linear and now you're pointed out into the heavens, understanding a different ways, understanding a different connection that you have, a matching of an energy. And yet, yes, you do need to say, no, I don't think so. No, this is wrong. If you are watching, if you're observing something that it is going on, of course you need to stand up in your truth and say it. Yet you need to know that we all are holding you. We all are here together. And that understanding, it really helps you to see a higher truth. It is really understanding that love that you are connects absolutely everything. Everything is love. It's just that it has been so distorted. And when you are able to recognize it within you, you have access to this incredible grid. We are so many. And every time it is more and more and more. All the daughters and the sons of the one that created you. Understandings, the ways of the mother, not just the ways of the father. For the ancestors, they call it the feminine ways. Nowadays, as Srishti has been showing us, that she's making her PhD in quantum mechanics of some kind, It is translating absolutely every teaching and going in there, Nowadays, they call it that quantum physics. For us, it has always been the ways of the feminine. So going back into your question is understand how we are so completely connected. I am you, and you are me. You are under attack, I am under attack. Yet we do know how to change those things that impose on the people and being able to connect in a higher level. Okay, do we have more questions, Mijita?
No, Ma.
Maybe one more.
Well, let's
Everything
see.
okay?
I don't see any more questions. I have one. What would you say people struggle a lot. And I can say from my experience and just knowing so many people, how to overcome that internal battle that is almost genetically inherited and is almost strong because we're women and just how we
Yeah.
grow up. What is like a very healthy way we can deal with that?
Well, I need to say this joke because it's in my head. In Mexico, we call it the pinche vocecita. Means maybe you don't need to know this. But yeah, that little voice that has always been like bringing you down and doing all these things against you, creating sabotage constantly, betraying yourself. Oh my gosh, there is so much of that little voice that it is there constantly, bringing you down. Here is the thing, deny the bottle. Deny the bottle. It's not a bottle. And as you listening to those voices and identifying with those voices, you're going to begin to just keep on co-creating with that. These are part of the AI. No, how do you say it in English? IA. AI. How do you say?
AI,
I.
artificial intelligence.
Sorry, my English can be funky. That is part of what it is that is not the true human being in you. Yet it is so completely seductive that you can swear that this is who you are as the voice keep on telling you all these stories. It is only I that it is constantly bringing you into there. Now, how do you overcome this? First, you must realize that that is a big truth, that you are a different story, that what you're hearing about it, it is a lie that they know that every part of that emotional part of it, it was a way of slowing you down and hooking you down constantly. We have all these books. One of these books about the 13 mirror. This one talks about all these hooks that it was implanted in the human being. Those little voices are translated into those hooks. And when you are able to distinguish that those voices are really not you and overcoming every part of those mirrors, it's a very, very different story. Recognizing who you are and discerning which voice is true, which voice is the great mother, and what voice it is just your AI that was imposed on you. And you can even hear it with all these horrible, annoying situations too. But it is your job to distinguish what is what. One of the things that I can tell you about the voice of the Great Mother is very similar at your voice. And she's not bully. She's not telling you even what to do. When you ask a question, she will present to you all these possibilities. Yet it is you the one who chooses. She is always about the highest good of everyone. And of course you are included. She's about protection. If you're a mother, you are understanding how you just know how to protect. You just know. The same way it is, well, that place of the mother, it is very much the mother, the great mother in you who taught you these ways, great mother. She always gave a door open for you, a next door, so you can be sitting the whole day just asking questions. And I really recommend you for having a journal and distinguishing from all these very low consciousness voices that are just right there, those voices of those emotions that was implanted on you is not even the true human being. So deny the bottle instead of engaging with a bottle. Engaging, you will create more resistance instead of using it and actually even harvest your emotions. Is a lot of energy to even go higher and understand yourself higher. Does this make sense, mijita? Did I answer your question?
You did, Ma. I think that question is going to help everyone too. Do you have one more
Well,
question or time for one?
I'm sorry, what?
Maybe?
Okay, one more, little one. Yeah.
Okay, little one. This is from Christine again. Turkey is truly falling, but it is within so many of us. As we do our work to drop that chauvinism, racism, biases, and control, is there a tipping point to eradicate it in the outside world? And she thanks you as well.
The question is, does there is a point that it is not? Is that it?
Yeah.
What she's asking me?
Yeah, in the outside.
This is, oh my gosh, I love that question. Here is the thing, you have the pyramid, and the one is contained in the whole, and the whole is in the one. And as you go into the pyramid, what it will happen is you will find the flip. That tip of the pyramid, it is just that new beginning. This is the new world that you are encountering. This is the new world that you are understanding yourself. You know that racism, it is so completely patriarchal system wanted to divide all human beings. And you know that there is a point deep inside in the human being that it is able to comprehend in a different manner. As also you know that in the racism thing, you do need to tell the story about what happened. Those stories needs to come forward in order to heal, because it's a big wound in the human being. Those are crimes for humanity. But it needs to be into that point again, that people will be able to comprehend a higher truth. For everyone to really come in a good way. But it cannot be imposed. Unity can never be imposed. Not making sense? It is not one group wanted to control the rest of them, thinking, or let's not speak about this. It's not going to work. We do need to say it. We do need to plant the true story of what it is, this planet, and how it has been for many, many groups. It cannot just jump that space in there, but it will get into that point when human beings are able to comprehend themselves in a higher manner. Right now, with all this commotion that it is going on, that is when we do need to understand what is this energy within ourselves and see ourselves in a very different story. What you see in here, a Mexica woman, middle age, coming from a very different country and understanding, with a funky English maybe. You can have all these images about me, and it will be your image about me. Because from that insight, from that understanding of who I am, it is beyond all what you think of, all what you think about you, all what you think about everyone else. It is the time to drop the biases, It is the time to understand that unity can never be imposed. Yet, in order to get there as a humanity, there is a lot of healing that it needs to happen. Okay, well, I am very grateful for you, Mijita. Do you want to say something more?
Yes.
I'm very grateful for all of you. And I want to say before I go, you see this button right there that says subscribe? And let us know if you have questions.